And welcome back. With me right now is Joe Milligan, and he is with Beginnings Treatment Centers. Nice to have you here, sir. Welcome, and we're going to find out all about the services that you offer. And I have to say, we were having a fun conversation talking about the movie Broadcast News before we came back. Maybe we'll show that to you one day, one of our Monday or Friday movies.
One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that was a very good movie, yeah. Well, welcome, and first give me an overview of the Beginnings Treatment Centers and how it relates to here.
Beginnings Treatment Centers is a comprehensive dual diagnosis addiction treatment center. We have facilities around Orange County, and we provide all levels of care from detox through outpatient services. We deal mostly with opiates.
Okay.
Not because we wanted to, but because that's what's been coming through our doors for many years. And we've gotten very good at it. But we deal with all types of addictions, many co-occurring disorders. We can deal with most of the comorbidities that come with addiction. We have a team of psychologists and psychotherapists who are our primary treatment team. One of the highest ratios I've ever seen in the treatment business of degreed professionals and licensed professionals in the mental health industry. And we do a very good job at that.
Okay, so you know, you mentioned opiates, and I would think that, you know, unfortunately within this community, that could be something a lot of folks might be dealing with, right?
The opiate epidemic today is multi-generational. It's a complex issue, it really is. The reason people get on opiates, there's a million of them. I mean, you know, some people just want to try them. But so many people have come to opiates because of pain.
Right.
And you know, opiates are just really not great for long-term pain relief. They have a number of paradoxical effects over a period of time. I mean, the bottom line is that if you're taking opiates for a very long time, you build a tolerance. And if you keep building the tolerance, you have to keep taking more to get the same level of pain relief.
Right.
And eventually your body quits producing the natural endorphins that give you natural pain relief. So you get this paradoxical effect of hyperalgesia, where everything hurts more.
Right.
And it's just simply a poor substitute, but it feels so good. You know, it just feels so good. And we deal with people who are hardcore addicts. We deal with a great many people who are simply psychologically and physiologically dependent upon the drugs they've been taking for a long time. So we deal a lot with pain relief. We deal a lot with pain management. We deal a lot with alternative methods for pain management.
And that's one of the key issues, because these people may have general acute pain for whatever reasons, and they want relief. And so they want to know, well, I don't want to be on these anymore, but I also don't want to walk around in extreme pain every day. How do I manage that? And that's a very difficult balancing act.
It is a difficult balancing act. Now, I'm not anti-opiate for acute pain.
Right.
For acute pain, for short-term relief of very serious pain, there still is nothing better than opiates.
Yeah.
They just work for that. But they don't translate well to chronic pain relief. There are all sorts of other methods to deal with it, and the study is growing all the time. I mean, right now there's a number of things happening that are making this much more difficult for people with chronic pain. The doctors are unable to prescribe like they could before. And people who are having their doctor tell them that we have to reduce your opioids.
Yeah.
We just have to. I can't prescribe this anymore like this, or I'm going to lose my license. They're turning to other methods. Now, they can turn to other methods that we use, that a lot of people are using, and find other ways to deal with the pain.
Sure.
Or they can turn to their neighborhood dealer who can get them drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is, this opiate epidemic is hitting everybody from grandkids to grandparents across the board. It's no respecter of any sort of borders. And the fact is, you can get whatever you want.
Yeah.
Anywhere, anytime.
Let me ask you something, just in your opinion, because you've been dealing with this one way or another for a while. Why do you think it's gotten so big? I mean, compared to 10 years ago? Is it just because the doctors, not blaming all the doctors, but just got to the point of we're prescribing these more because the drug companies, you know, get with the medical programs and say, here's all these new ones. You know, I don't know why. What's your? I'm curious.
Well,
what's
I
your
have
opinion?
my opinions on that, but that would take a lot longer than we have today. I mean, you know, the perfect storm is the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's just been over a period of time.
Yeah.
I mean, for a long time, the doctors, like I said, the doctors have a very good reason for prescribing opiates. They work.
Yeah.
And they work for a long time before they don't work, and when they don't work a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's big when they don't work. But I mean, the problems are snowballing.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, it's a snowball, and the access has become easier to illicit drugs. The types of illicit drugs that are available now are growing like crazy. I mean, this fentanyl is coming across the border in wide amounts. They're mixing fentanyl with heroin. They're also bootlegging everybody's favorite prescription drugs, and they look just like the prescription drugs. They're coming across the border in I don't know, container loads.
Yeah.
And they contain fentanyl, and that'll kill you. It's
Right.
50,000 times or 10,000 times more powerful than morphine. And they put it in. They don't have any quality control. You don't know what you're going to get.
Right.
But
right.
it's available, and heroin is available. And the price of heroin has gone down so much that people who don't have the access to the prescription drugs they did before have been able to turn to heroin.
Okay.
And they
yeah.
start, you know, I can't tell you how many clients we've had who've sworn, who would have sworn at one time they'd never stick a needle in their arms. Never.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, of course, people are going to say, or people are going to want to ask that maybe need this kind of help. How do I go about that? Does I would say majority of the people here are on some sort of Medicare program. Is that covered by Medicare? Or whatever, some of them are on the, you know, the Medicare Advantage, those type of things.
We can talk about that. We don't take Medicare directly,
Okay.
but we do take a lot of the Medicare supplements. We take most PPOs.
Okay.
And many people have PPOs. We have other ways to finance it. There's other sources available, and
Okay.
outpatient works too. We have that also.
Okay.
And I mean, there's a number of issues that go on in this community, particularly. Not only is it an issue for the residents of this community too, but it's an issue for their families. And very often in a community like this, the seniors are the major influencers in the family.
Okay.
You know, they're as concerned about their grandkids as they are about themselves.
Yes.
And they can influence their grandkids. They can influence their own children and grandchildren. And this thing is going from top to bottom
Right.
in the whole family. And the only thing they can do is give us a call. I
Okay.
mean, we expect to take a call. We expect to be able to help anyone who calls us in some
Okay.
manner.
All right, and the number's on the screen. So if you'd like more information about that, maybe it's for you, maybe there's a family member, you know, that could possibly use some help, give that a call and see what they can do for you. Joe, thank you very much. I appreciate meeting you and having you come on. And we'll be back in just a moment.